in that RSB, when you're setting expectations, there's a couple things. Like you got this big pre-construction.
Yeah.
It's kind of a checklist,
Right.
but it's really there for informational purposes for the client.
Exactly.
You know exactly what's going to happen because you've built hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Right.
homes. They may be building for the first time.
Exactly.
Or maybe they've done it once before, but they're not experts in it. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of going over those things like, hey, here's what you can expect on your job site. Out of those things, because there's like, 30 things that
2 pages now.
Yeah. what would you say, like 1 or 2, maybe 3 things that people see and they're like, oh, because they just don't understand?
So I would say probably the biggest one is the locks on the doors. So that's a separate, its own item on our sheet now. That's a big one because, again, I think Nick talked about this on his episode. We have to put locks on the house in order to be covered by insurance and to protect your house from people that you don't want to go in there.
Right.
So a lot of people get kind of freaked out when you tell them, hey, we're going to lock you out of your house that's on your land, but it's for a good reason. We're not.
Right.
The goal is not to lock the client out. We always put a lock box on the front door, and I'm always open to giving them the code to that, just in case they ever want to get in and look around. I'm not opposed to that. We just have to be covered for insurance purposes and for liability risk. I mean, if a client walks in the house when they're framing it, and a framer drops a board and hits them on the top of the head, that's an issue.
Right.
No one from the BARNDO code knows that they're there. Then they try to come back at us and say, I got hurt on the job site. Well, no one knew you were out there. If I would have known you were going to go out there, I would have told you not to go out there because the framers are framing it. It's a dangerous,
right.
situation.
Well, not only that, but like some of the things like also with, having a lock site is if they're going out there because they want to see what's going on.
Right.
A lot of times you'll meet them out there.
Exactly.
And because they're absolutely going to see something that they've got a question about.
Of
course. Again, they probably have never been in an active job site. They probably never seen something, and they're going to have like this panic moment.
Right.
And it's so much easier to diffuse that while you're standing right beside them. Be like, hey, look, yep, I see that. This is how this works. We're in this process.
Yeah.
This is how this gets taken care of.
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, a lot of like client, disappointment or even questions that they have are just simple stuff that they don't know because they're not in they're not in the industry. It's some that I look at and I'm like, yeah, that's standard. We see that on every job, but they don't know that.
Right.
So then they see it and they freak out. I have to calm them down. No, it's okay. It's normal. If it's wrong, we'll fix it. If it's broken, if it's missing, we'll get it in.
I'm going to change your guys' title to project counselors.
Yeah, right.
What else? Is there anything else on that sheet that kind of like?
I think the only other thing I can think of is the build time. So the build time is a big one for everyone. Obviously, everyone is in a rush to get it done as fast as possible, especially the client. They want to get moving as fast as possible, and obviously they're paying interest on a loan. They want to get it done as fast as they can. So contractually, we give them a year. They sign a 12-month contract. Obviously, our goal is to build it as fast as possible. Our goal at the moment is 6 to 8 months.
Right.
But again, on the sheet, everywhere, it's a year, 365 days.
Right.
So people kind of freak out when they see a year. But it can happen if we run into issues, but that's not the standard, and that's not our goal.
There was a time where, we were really humping it to get it done in a year.
Yeah.
And, so the process has improved to the point now to where, y'all's build cycle and y'all's schedule and everything that incentivizes you as a project manager to get the job done is not a year long.
Right.
You're going to be just as disappointed and upset as they are.
Oh, absolutely.
If that project takes 12 months to build.
Exactly.
However, contractually, things happen.
Exactly.
And there's things that could happen that we have no control over. So there's buffers in there. And then occasionally you get that job that just like,
everything goes wrong.
Everything.
Every step of the way, it's always something.
And part of it is like explaining to them that like it's us versus everything that goes wrong
versus
or goes
all the
right.
challenges.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's not like it's them versus the builder.
No.
And a
that's
lot of
not what we want.
No,
we want to be a team.
Yeah.
With the client and the BARNDO code. We all want to be on the same path with the same goal. We want to get it done as fast as possible. However, we don't want to sacrifice quality. I come from production. That's a world where you're pushed to just get your times down, and they're not totally concerned about quality. That was my big complaint with production building, was they were always pushing me to build it faster, and I don't want to because I have to sacrifice quality. And I'm the kind of person, I take pride in my work. I want the client to be as happy as possible when I close on that house with them. I'm the one facing them. They're all the issues that they see, they're bringing to me. And I don't want to be the bad guy. I want people to be happy. I want people to move into a house that they love and they had a decent experience.
Yep.
So I do like the switch because I can take a little bit more time and make sure everything is done correctly.
I love that answer. Love it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.